Now, last Saturday's attack on the Tom Ikimi Train station in Igwembe local government area of Edo State makes it the second of such attack recorded in the country in the last 10 months. Now, on March the 28th, 2022, some bandits attacked an Abuja-Kaduna bound train in the Katari area of Kaduna State, where out of the 970 passengers on board, 68 persons were kidnapped, 8 persons killed, and 26 others were reportedly injured. Following negotiations with the abductors, who were believed to have collected huge ransoms from their families, the hostages were released in batches, and the federal government in October 2022 secured the release of the 23 remaining victims after months in captivity. The Minister of Transportation, Muazu Sambo, while announcing the resumption of the Kaduna-Abuja train route, said the rail line had been provided with 24-hour security monitoring system to ensure constant real-time surveillance and control. But this latest attack in Edo State seems to show the vulnerability of the country's train stations to attack, which therefore means more security measures are needed from the federal government and for the safety of passengers. And joining me now for more on this is security consultant, Group Captain Shehu Sadiq, retired. He joins me from Abuja to discuss the attack on the Tom Ikimi train station in Edo State. Good to have you join us.
Good morning, and thank you.
All right, so let's look at in the previous reports we took, we have sort of highlighted the several events around the rail infrastructure in the country, especially beginning last year when the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, and then the resumption of the train service was in December last year with a promise that 24-hour security surveillance and security architecture has been put in place. So what's your thought when you look at that particular lineup of events from last year and then now? What's your thought and what do you think played out here?
Thank you very much. It's unfortunate that despite the challenges we had on the Kaduna-Abuja railway line, we're still seeing that our rail infrastructure is not yet well protected. I have followed the happenings, what happened, what the government has promised to do, what they have done. So they said the taste of the cake is the taste of the pudding is in the eating. We were really optimistic when we had the new security measures that were put in place by the Nigerian Railway Corporation before the resumption of the Kaduna train. But if you ask me, my humble opinion is that we're talking about a railway line that is over 4,000 kilometers long. We're talking of many other railway stations that are along the route. So I think it's probable that what we have put in place is only put in place in other railway stations where some others have been left fallow. Yes, we could say that to expect an attack, either terrorists or kidnappers, there are places that you will say are more prone to such attacks than others. But what we saw in Edo State, and from information I got from other security professionals who are on the ground, it shows that while the ministry or Nigerian Railway Corporation said they have a 24-hour surveillance, there is the need to understand that surveillance on itself is not a security solution. It is part of security solution. What do I mean? From what we have now, these people hardened these people just like in Kaduna, but as the opposite of Kaduna, they walked with these people several kilometers and disappeared. Even if we have surveillance, where was that surveillance? Surveillance is supposed to alert you and then you take action. The point I'm saying that surveillance only part, if you have surveillance, CCTV or intrusion detection system that will warn you somebody is attempting something, the next important thing is the response. If you do not have the response, the surveillance itself is of no use. Unfortunately, we have to accept here that the response was either lacking or it was the response time was too long because these people walked up with these people, entered into the bush and disappeared. So definitely what I want the federal government, and here when I say federal government, I'm talking of the Federal Ministry of Transport, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, is to look at security as a holistic approach. When we talk of securing a place in terms of physical security, there's what we call the 5 Ds of security. The 5 Ds of security, and they start with the deterrence. Deterrence is what will the intruder see first that will tell him, Kai, to enter into this place is a very tough nut to crack. Deterrence can even dissuade That could be either by presence of armed security people or cameras, or even alert non-armed personnel. When the personnel alert, because like somebody pointed out, before these people do this kind of strike, they do a reconnaissance. The kind of alertness and professionalism you see with a megad in a house will make you to think, is it feasible to attack this house or to enter this house or not? But you see, so deterrence should be the first approach. But after deterrence, you should look at it like an onion, pillar by pillar. When you peel one, one part of the onion, there's another part that
and good Captain, you will speak to the other days. I know you have said there are 5 days, and you've only mentioned one. But I just wanted to add this to why you speak on that, and to add this question to it, because one of the things we heard from eyewitnesses is the fact that, look, there were not even security agencies present there, and a lot has been said about the command, which is the arm of the police station, the police force rather, which is in charge of the railway infrastructure. And if they were not present there, what exactly is going on in terms of securing our rail infrastructure in the country?
Well, I'm happy you pointed out. So that means even the first point of deterrence is not there. Because the presence of security, whether they are civil defense, whether they are police, plenty of them very alert, will tell a would-be intruder that undertaking a task here is going to be difficult. So where are we going? We are still coming back to this lack of personnel, or I think there's a presumption that while we're hearing kidnapping and the bandits and terrorism, maybe it is only in one part of the country, while assuming that another part of the country is safe. That is the only way I can explain. Actually, what you told me, I've also corroborated from security personnel who are on the ground there to say what is the presence of security personnel there. In fact, it is between nil and even maybe 2 or 5. So you see, for a railway station where we have such and we don't even know their state of alertness, we don't know their state of security, we don't know their state of communication. Because even if you have 20 policemen, they should be, linked with where they can get reinforcement. Unfortunately, even the deterrence aspect was not there. So after a regular reconnaissance, the people who want to attack that place will see that this is a soft target which can be taken anytime. But to go forward with my distance, if you have deterrence, then you have detect. This is why we call of CCTV, why we call of intrusion detection system, so that there are some restricted areas where somebody breaches and alarm will sound somewhere. But again, still that one is ineffective if you do not have the response forces. Then deny. Deny is all about denying entry into your site. Even to most responsible areas, you have access control solutions. You have bollards. That's what they call bollards. There is this kind of very big iron something that pops up and out. You can put it. It denies access to certain area. And then where all this still fail, at least have enough personnel that can delay those people. Delay can be done either by security personnel on the ground or even by physical, barriers that will erect around some places. I don't know whether it's that. When the last aspect, which is always what we think about, we're thinking of police or army or coming. The kind of security threats, the size of railway system can be, security cannot be assured simply by a reactive force of armed people. What you should be doing is a holistic approach that takes into this deterrence, delay, detection, denial, and then defending if they need to be.
Absolutely. I wish we had enough time to talk about this because it's quite important. And because you also talked about reinforcement, I wish we could talk about the location of some of these railway stations. But my time is up. Thank you so much for talking to our security consultant, Group Captain Shehu Sadiq, retired.
Thank you very much.